Let's do it.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? So in today's new Canon Vader comic, we get the 5th and final installment of the Marvel comic series, Vader Dark Visions. Now, my favorite one of this series in particular was this one where I covered the obsessed blonde girl who was after him, leading to the twisting turnout at the very end. Today's video goes over something that is sort of interesting, but you know what, I'm not going to hype it up like crazy for you because personally, I just wasn't really that captivated by this one. The story opens with Vader on some world where he's commanding the stormtroopers to continue their search for something the rebels stole that had the intel on the Empire, which could have been a major threat to this sector, as he says. As the stormtrooper tells him,
"Well, there's only two things to do on Lockwood 7. Drink and hunt."
I do not care what they are doing here, only that we put an end to it.
As Vader slices the alien Venus human flytrap looking thing, we switch to a cantina where rebels come to celebrate their victory in finding what they were looking for, which was clearly some intel on bringing down the Empire in that sector, as Vader was worried about. As the barkeeper confiscates all the weapons, including the intel the rebel brought him, they all continue with the drinking. Now, something that was interesting in this bar is that apparently there were rebels and stormtroopers all drinking together. However, he would just take their weapons at the door, and once they pay their tab, they get them back on the way out. When Vader eventually ambushes them with his troopers, he takes no prisoners alive, decimating all in his path, making his way to the back of the room, where, "Open up! Open up! Who's that monster?" As the barkeeper frantically tries to escape by punching in the code, he eventually runs out of there and into the most dangerous part of the planet, the jungle. "I know this jungle. I know it well enough to stay out of here. It's not safe out here." As he keeps running, with Vader chasing close behind him. "Ah! No! Please, no! Not deadly. Worse. Auntie called it the Nightmare Bloom. Poisons the mind." He eventually falls into what they call the Nightmare Bloom, a poisonous, thorn-filled plant that causes hallucinations of nightmares in the real world. In other words, the dude is about to have a really nasty trip. As he finds Vader nearing him with his red crimson lightsaber at his face, he sees the plasma actually flow out of it and become the face of a massive dragon snake. Taking out his blaster, he shoots all over the place, missing Vader completely, until the Dark Lord is now ensnared by the Nightmare Bloom himself, clenching to get out alive. Entering his uncle's old hunting lodge, he sees it as the head of Vader's mask, just more scary. Entering the house, we see Vader's hand emerge from the Nightmare Bloom pit, naturally defeating the jungle. As he goes through the house, he is seeing everything in a horrifying way as a result of the Nightmare Bloom. The hunted beasts on the walls come to life and try to eat him, so he thinks. Then, the living dead starts reaching for his ankles as he slips on the stairs, begging for him to pour them another drink.
The dead are thirsty too.
Need a weapon, something, anything. Detonator. Yes, yes. It's over. I did it.
When finally, he turns and sees Vader with the face of the Predator or some grotesque monster grabbing for him. He throws what Vader wants at him. As it hits his chest plate, he grabs it and activates it as it illuminates the room.
Mission accomplished, Commander. Ready my ship.
Yes, Lord Vader.
And that's the end of this comic and the final end to the series Dark Visions. I'm very excited for whatever they come up with next. This one reminded me a lot of Batman Begins with the neurotoxin that Scarecrow spread throughout Gotham City, where Batman turns into this monster-looking thing too, at least to the people who were infected by it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was canon. Now, what I want you to answer in the comments is, what do you think the hologram was that Vader activated? Let me know down below, and I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.